Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Xero back with another video yet again. Sorry for the long hiatus after my last video. It has been some time with you guys, but today I'm going to be back with a whole new content. This time it is on Axie Infinity Homelands, which was just released a couple of days ago. If you're just checking this video out, this is a great place to start as you find out how to play the game. Now, Axie Infinity Homelands is kind of like a mix between Farmville and Rise of Kingdoms. It is for now, in the first phase of the game that has been released. It is in alpha, of course, just a disclaimer out there that this is not the complete game. There's a much more content to be added to this game, but still there is a plethora of things for us to discover. And as we play along, as we go along this progress of this game, we will notice that we are running out of gold. So this video, the focus of this video will be on teaching you guys on how to be able to make as much gold as possible and how to properly utilize them in your upgrades. Now, a common misconception about this game and how to make gold is that, hey, I can just farm resources like pebbles, like wood, and start selling them in the auction market. That will not work at this phase of the game. Why? This is because gold is in very high demand right now. Everybody who is starting out the game, it's only been released for 2 days, so everyone who is starting out in this game is in dire need of gold, whether it's to upgrade their altar, whether it's to buy new hem huts. This game right now is heavily reliant on gold as one of the most limited resources. So trying to sell your things in the auction house, you might lose more gold than you earn just because of the auction house fees. So remember guys, do not try and sell anything on the auction because chances are nobody's gonna buy them. Now, the most straightforward way to make gold in Homelands at the moment is through your quests. Whether it's your newcomer's quest or your daily quest or a weekly quest, there is a lot of gold to be gotten just by clearing these. Like you can see, there's a lot of gold here in all of these quests that once you complete, you get some gold, and they do stack up. I mean, 400 gold is nothing to be scoffed at, and everything else does give you a decent amount of gold as well. As for the daily and weekly quests, you want to try and complete them as much as you can, especially the daily quest, because if you look at the gold we get here, this is about 500-600 gold that you get every day, and they do start to stack up, especially at the higher levels where you need 9k 6k to upgrade your buildings. These quests are those that you do not want to miss. For the weekly quests, they do give even a lot more. Now you can see finishing just 8 weekly quests in a week will give you 1,005, and there are other quests that are very easy to achieve, and you'll be able to get them very easily. So this is the main source of income for gold as you start off the game. One thing I do want to point out as well is that to complete this sell and buy 30 times in the auction house, you can work with a friend who also has land to just buy each other's items. For example, I've paired out with one of my friends. I would buy 30 of his items and he would buy 30 of my items. So we would be able to clear both quests at the same time for basically no amount of gold, because we do get the gold back because he buys my stuff, I buy his stuff. We do lose a little bit of gold from listing, but it's not that much. Also, one more important thing is that these quests do refresh weekly, so you want to be able to clear these weekly as much as possible. Now, one very important note in this 2 quests, the buy and sell quest, is that you have to buy 30 times. So it doesn't matter if you buy 1 or 100, you would have to buy 30 times. So what me and my friend did is that we bought 1 wood from each other for 30 times. So that cleared our quest in roughly 30 minutes because our distance is not that far from each other. So this is something you can look out for when you're trying to clear this quest, whether you can work with a neighbor if you're able to find his socials or his contact, or if not, you can try and work with a friend who might be a bit far away, but within a couple of hours you should be able to clear out this quest. Now, we talked about gold as being one of the limited resources in this game. So is adventurers. For adventurers, you only get 1 every 30 minutes. So you really want to try and min-max your gold you get from trading with adventurers. So how you trade with adventurers is something like this. So I have 12 adventurers at the moment. You want to be able to give them food, You want to be able to give them, for now, weapons and armor. So this is what you do. So if you look at what I currently give him, you'll be able to earn 50 gold per adventure. Now this is able to be min-maxed or just reduced slightly to be able to cope with the level of gameplay or the level of commitment you put into the game. For example, fruit plates might be a little bit higher level than yours, so it's okay to just go for the bread. It costs slightly less, but you still get 45 gold per adventures. So every day with 48 adventures, if you don't miss any, you are able to get almost 2,000 gold just from trading with these adventures. So this is another main source of income for gold, and this is a very important part that you do not want to miss. Remember guys, these adventures are limited. There's no way to get more, only by waiting will you be able to get them. So it is very important not to miss out on any of them, and also to try and maximize the amount of value you get per adventure. Now, an important thing to note is that as you progress through the game, when you upgrade your buildings more and more, you are able to provide them better weapons, better armor, better food, and eventually potions and shells and accessories. It is very important to try and calculate the amount of time and work needed in each of these items, so you are able to min-max your earnings from each adventure. Now, if you're a much more casual player, you don't have to care too much about these. You can just go for the standard food, bread, and with just a shield and a helmet, you're able to get a decent amount of gold as well. So it depends on what your progress and what sort of player are you in Homelands. Now, you're wondering, how do I get these armors, these food, these weapons in a very efficient way? Well, this is called a resource loop. There are a lot of ways to be able to loop in this game. A couple of them are such as just having one Axie producing the copper ingots, and then you will send the second Axie across the map to try and farm these mines to be able to get copper ore, and then you will have two more Axies just making them in your Protector's Pledge and your Hammer Hut. So this is one of the simplest loops that you can do to be able to get gold in Homelands. There's also the more passive loot in the agriculture side of the game. For example, one of the easiest is the chicken loop. So what you want to do is, on the forager's field, one of your Axies produce corn. From corn, you will need a grain grinder to produce chicken feed. And from the chicken feed, you would produce chicken. So what this does is this allows you to go AFK or go to sleep and still be able to maximize the usage of your Axies, because all these three resources are interconnected. Your corn goes to the grain grinder, which provides you chicken feed, which provides you chicken. So this can go on overnight as much as you can store your chickens. So when you do that, you can create hours and hours of just maximizing your Axie usage. And when you wake up, or when you're free, or when you log back into the game, you can start cooking them in your cuddle kitchen to make chicken, steamed chicken. Each steamed chicken will provide 5 gold when sold to adventurers. So this is not too much gold, but this is definitely not something you want to miss out. Also, this is one of the easiest loops to be able to achieve just because of how simple it is. There are a lot more complicated loops that you can do, such as having the Gala Garden to produce fruits, and then you would need one of your forager's field to start producing wheat. You will need one Axie chopping wood. You will need one Axie producing charcoal. You will need another coal kiln to produce the crude coal dust, and then from there you can create what is the toast on the level 2 cuddle kitchen. So toasts sell for 10 each on the adventure, so double the amount that you can get per adventure is something you want to look out for, especially just because, like I said earlier, these adventures are limited. So the more you are able to min-max the goal you make from each adventure, the better you'll do in Homelands, especially progressing towards your level 4 altar and getting that 6 worker. Now, as a footnote, remember Homelands is just in its alpha release. I'm sure as more content and more patches do come in, there are going to be more and more ways to make gold for your next upgrade. So remember guys, do not give up. This game is not to be completed within a day. There are so many other things that we have yet to discover. But in the meantime guys, thank you all for watching the video. Hope you guys learned something from it. This is Xero, signing out.